all get up for
Iceland
a
is
pledge?
wonderful. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Welcome, everybody.
Do I have a sheet? I'll just do it on the back of this.
Okay.
Before we start, I just wanted to acknowledge to our slim crowd that this is the first time we're streaming live and on YouTube, and it'll be recorded on our website as well. So to anybody watching, if we have any hiccups, it's our first time. We're doing pretty good here, but Jamie O is the person to complain to. Okay.
You need her extension.
Not about gonna do that to her. So do we need to poll the board?
Yes, we need to see who's here. You ready?
Yep, we are ready.
Okay. Steve? No. Dave?
Here.
Gary?
Here.
Faye?
Here.
And me.
And me.
Amy's.
Amy?
Yep. Amy's
Thank you,
here.
Miss Amy.
Here.
Good, nice to know you're here. And Hina? No.
Enos and I.
Okay. Great, so we are five here and 2 absent.
Okay.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Nothing.
Okay. So the first order of business is any correspondence?
No, there's no correspondence today. And are there any visitor statements?
Are there any visitor statements?
I'm sorry?
Are there any visitor statements?
Yes.
This is your time slot.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
Could you stand and tell us your name and what village you're from?
Sure.
Right there is fine, you can stand right there.
I will, let me just pull this off for a moment, because then I can do.
Please, do not ruin our boardroom.
So, my name is Dale McLean. I live in Lincolnshire. I've been a resident and homeowner for almost 20 years in Lincolnshire.
Dale, can I remind you that it's a 3-minute
Yep.
time slot for this, and go ahead and give it.
Okay, perfect. So I'll jump right, thank you to the board for letting me talk. I'll jump right to the point. I could give you a quick background. I've worked in corporate America for over 30 years, decided to give back, and I worked for 2 educational institutions. I had the pleasure of working at 2 institutions for my last 2 assignments. And as chief financial officer, so I'm very familiar with school operations. I'm very familiar with corporate governance. My kids didn't go here, but it's a great school. Okay, so first, I've got 3 points. First, the tax record. The whole reason I'm here is I started a project to understand why taxes are so high, school taxes. And the tax records that are posted online by the county clerk in Lake County go back 15 years. What I found is the equalized assessed value 15 years ago is excluding construction is actually higher than it is today. So the equalized assessed value has only gone up 3.9% in 15 years, and that's all from new construction. The Stevenson taxes have gone up 45%. So what that means is that's Stevenson taxes have gone up 10 times faster than homeowner appreciation. So that's one. I think a reasonable person would maybe conclude that higher taxes is a reason, contributing to the reason that property values have stayed flat. This year they might be a little bit higher because there's an imbalance of home ownership, but essentially home values have stayed flat, taxes have gone up exponentially. I was at the facilities committee meeting. And what I requested from them is before they approve the next capital spending, they at least the board assesses what the impact will be on homeowners. If the impact is that there's another 15 years of no appreciation, that's not a sustainable model. And I think if you went to the voters, either referendum or otherwise, and asked them if they wanted 15 more years of flat appreciation or maybe a new school indoor track, I think for me, I would vote for having a chance at appreciation because it hasn't gone up in 15 years. So, second, the state of Illinois has essentially delegated taxing authority to the school boards. That's a tremendous responsibility, but it also comes with, it's a tremendous that's tremendous power that's delegated, but it also comes with tremendous responsibility. What I found is between 2006 and 2018, the school board, this board approved budgets that generated $10 million a year in surplus. Over $10 million a year in surplus for 13 consecutive years. That averaged 9.7 million. And so what happened is that accumulated to the tune of $144 million at the end of June of 2018. And cash and investments at 2018 was virtually the same amount of 143 million. In the higher education world, that surplus would be the equivalent of an unrestricted endowment. So said differently, our Stevenson board has effectively authorized the building of a $100 million endowment based on taxpayers' funding. I believe a prudent person would wonder what the trustees were thinking. Third and lastly, the Stevenson High School discloses, along with other schools, the base pay of each and every teacher and administrator. It includes some benefits, but not the pension benefit. The pension benefit is paid by the state, and last year, 2020, the total amount reported by the state paid or expensed incurred on behalf of Stevenson High School was $33.9 million. To give you an idea of what that represents, that's 57% of the entire salary budget for Stevenson High School. So what that means is there's a huge benefit paid to employees upon retirement that really should be factored in when you look at competitiveness of salaries. If that's not already done, I would suggest to the board that you ask the administrators to provide that information. And if you have any, I also suggest that prior to the next salary negotiation, that you look at the total compensation, which is how corporate America does it, to make sure they're competitive.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
We're already over twice the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How about you give Dr. Twaddell a call, and I'd like to sit in on a meeting with you, and we can go over it in detail with no time constraint.
That would be terrific. I would love that.
Well, why don't we just do that, and hopefully we can get you the answers you're looking for, because from where I sit, those are fair questions, and I think you're entitled to the answers.
Yeah,
But
okay, that's good.
This isn't the right place to do it.
Yeah, no, and I'm not looking for answers.
I know, but let's get you what you want. If you can call Dr. Twaddell, I'll make myself available.
Yep.
And we could do it together.
That's terrific.
Does
That's
that sound
exactly
okay?
what
Does that sound okay?
that's perfect. That's
And we'll
exactly.
include Sean, obviously.
Sure.
We just have a little, interesting couple weeks with the end of June, beginning of July, so
I totally
it'll
understand
be
that.
mid-July, just to manage expectations.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
about
yeah. I
3
think
weeks.
that's perfect. 'Cause
Okay.
Thank you for your comments.
Yeah, because my whole goal, and I'll leave, is I don't want another 15 years of
Okay. let's do it the right way.
No appreciation.
Let's do it the right way.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
No.
Going once?
No.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Hey, Sean, can you get?
thanks, Dale.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, student activities report, we have no student activity. Ben's not here today, right? Okay, so new business.
All right.
Dr. Twaddell,
All right.
take it away.
Well, thank you. We have a handful of items under our curriculum instruction and assessment report, and Mark is here to chime in, but the first item is the approval of the 2021-2022 student guidebook. We presented this to you last month as a first reading, and if you recall, most of the changes are wordsmithing from last year. So tonight, we're recommending that the board approve the student guidebook for the 2021-2022 school year as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's a voice vote. It's a voice vote,
Voice vote.
unless anybody has a comment.
Comments, questions?
Okay. Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We have no nays. A little slow on that eye, Amy. Okay.
That's Amy, right?
Yes.
Amy-
I'm in a different time zone.
I know. Amy's an aye. Okay.
All right. The second item we have is approval of our summer curriculum proposals. This year, these are particularly important as we address some of the challenges that the COVID year has presented. I know that a lot of our teacher teams are looking at curriculum enhancements and changes that would address some of the learning loss that may or may not have occurred over the course of the last 15 months. With all that said, the total cost of these proposals, Mark, Sean, is still in line with previous years. And just so that you know, all of these proposals go through the individual curriculum directors for their first round of approvals, and then they go to Mark for a second round of approvals, and then Sean chimes in to make sure that we're still in, kind of in line on budget. So we're presenting to you tonight the 2021 summer curriculum project proposals as presented.
Okay. So this is a poll vote.
Wait, do we need a motion, David?
Can I get a motion? Am I allowed to make a motion?
No. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam
I do-
Secretary?
I
No,
do
no,
have a question.
Okay.
If this is a proposal for the summer of 2021, I assume the summer school already started. Is this coming a little bit late?
So these are changes for next school year. So these are projects that teachers are going to be doing during the summer months when they're not teaching. This
Okay.
isn't summer school.
Oh,
So this is summer work, I guess you would call it,
Yeah.
of teachers preparing for next year.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Just a quick question, Eric, what, in general, what do these costs represent?
Hours.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Based on hours.
Got it.
And they're capped.
I was gonna say,
So
there's
you
cap.
can't, teacher A can't,
Right.
have 3,000 hours worth of summer curriculum.
Mhm.
Right, so there's a cap, and we try to approve, most of these, if not all of these, Mark, are approved for teacher teams rather than teacher individuals. So, we prioritize the work of teacher teams and their collaborative work.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Madam Secretary?
Certainly. Faye,
Yes,
yes or no?
yes.
Yes. Moons, yes. David,
Yes, aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
carries 5-0.
Amy, can you hear okay when this is,
Yeah, I can hear you.
okay,
That's enough.
thank you. Big mouth.
All right, next item is approval of the final 2020-2021 school calendar. This is really more just administrative for ISBE. Essentially, what we're doing is verifying that the calendar we originally submitted, did we actually do any alterations?
We did not.
Yeah, ironically enough, we didn't do any alterations even with all of the COVID
Right.
pieces. So the calendar we're submitting now is the one that we submitted at the beginning of the year. We're presenting it to you tonight to approve the final 2021 school calendar as presented.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Oh,
Second. Mr.
Amy, you're
Gorson?
second.
Amy was the second. Any discussion? Madam Secretary, please?
Certainly, Gary,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
me, aye. Oh dear, Faye,
Aye.
Amy?
Amy,
aye.
There you go.
Aye.
aye, aye.
Aye.
Yeah, 5-0.
All right, and then the last piece that Mark and I have is approval of our board policy updates. You'll notice that we get these fairly regularly from Press. Remember, we have that subscription with Press where they just kind of send us the updates, some of which we include, I'd say most of which we don't. This month, these are mostly wordsmithing and administrative
They're,
procedures. Yeah,
Codes.
yeah, codes and things like that. So
Footnotes.
footnotes, things like that. So there is very little to nothing in here that is substantial, but we just want to make sure that we continue to dot our i's and cross our t's and make sure that our board policy is updated with everything that Press publishes. So tonight, we're asking the board to adopt the policy updates contained in the Press Plus issue 105 as presented.
May I have a motion? Oh, it's a voice vote.
We still need a motion.
Yeah, okay. Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
You know, I got a question here. Back in the day, I was on a group that went over this. You had me going over that one
Yep.
summer.
Yep.
Those were some big books.
They are still,
I mean, they were big. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Everything is online now.
it's all online now.
It's all online, but do we ever review it
Yes.
in its bigness?
Well, part of the reason we did that then was that it hadn't been reviewed in about 7 years.
Oh,
So now Carol
Okay.
Keeps up to
mostly
date.
keeps up with it
Okay.
every month.
because that was a big deal. I mean,
Right.
It was a
we
massive.
spent like 4 or
Days,
5
weeks.
sessions
Right.
going through that stuff and,
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah, now we updated, Carol is constantly going through the board policy updates, and so far, the last, I'd say 18 months or so have been pretty insignificant. Like, not a lot of big policy changes, mostly just wordsmithing to make sure
Okay.
that we're updating the codes correctly, yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's a voice vote.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, Amy. Opposed? Okay,
It's 5-0.
Okay, and then you'll see your usual allotment of personnel items that are to be included in the consent agenda. We will not need an executive session following the meeting tonight. And that takes us to the business section. Sean, and the first item is the adoption of the 2021-22 budget, and we need to establish a public hearing, is that correct?
That is correct.
so we have to come out of this session first or just go to a parallel
Correct.
meeting? All right. So,
So I need to make basically, I'm following any discussion, I'm recommending that Board of Education open the public hearing on the proposed 2021-22 District 125 budget.
do we need a motion?
Yep, so moved.
Second.
So Sean, before the board votes on that, do you just wanna give your
Of course,
10,000
yeah,
foot
so,
highlights here?
yeah, so this is, something that we had talked about previously at our May board May board meeting, where we had, of course, set this agenda. Our revenues, are in line with the CPI for that particular year. So there is an increase of 2.44%. And I think the reason that it's over CPI is because of the federal monies that we're going to be receiving from our COVID, from the various COVID acts. They call it ESSER. So if you remember, we had 3 different waves of that. So altogether, we have about $700,000 in federal revenue that we normally don't have. And then on the expenditure side, we are expecting a decrease of 6.35% when we include our construction costs, annual summer maintenance and remodeling. However, if we do look at, removing those costs, our simple operating expenditure costs are up 2.62%. And the CPI, just to keep everybody in mind, or keep everybody refreshed, is that the CPI for the expenditures was 1.4%. So we have 2 different CPIs because of revenues are always a year in arrears. So we are staying in line with the cost of living. We were doing our, remember, most of our costs are in fact our employment costs.
Well, we still need to open a public hearing.
Right, so you have to have a vote.
So, we have been moved, we have discussed.
No, nobody moved.
I thought
Oh,
you,
I did.
Terry.
Yes,
You
I'm
did.
sorry. I
There's a
wrote
move and a
down
second.
too.
yeah.
Okay,
So can we have a vote, please, for opening a public hearing? It's a voice vote?
mm-hmm,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, Amy. So, now I suppose we have to ask for public comments.
Correct.
Dale, anybody? You're the only public here.
No.
There's 2.
My only comment would be to a suggestion to look at the tax revenue. It looks like there was some deferred tax revenue that wasn't collected, probably because in the last assessment, probably because of bankruptcies and foreclosures. So I'm thinking that revenue will be delayed.
No, we actually abated $1 million back to taxpayers on this particular tax levy.
It was even probably more substantial than that. I would just look at it, just take a look, and we can talk.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Amy. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. That was a short public hearing. Okay. So now we move into the next.
move to adopt.
Move to adopt. Need a motion to adopt.
Okay, motion to adopt, please.
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you.
Amy and Faye, that's fine. We pull the board.
Yep.
Okay, Gary,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Faye.
Aye.
Amy,
Amy.
Aye.
Okay.
me, aye. Carries 5-0.
Okay, that takes us to our next item, which is approval of the 2021 to 2026 board faculty agreement. These are conversations that have been ongoing, and I think we, worked with the board and the administrative team, and our faculty members in the association worked really hard to identify both a financial agreement, but also an agreement regarding kind of working conditions here on campus. And I think for the most part, people feel pretty good about where we ended up. And so thank you to Jason and Janessa, who are here tonight representing the Faculty Association. And the faculty voted on the tentative agreement in early June, and close to 90% approval.
Overwhelming. I can say that, I don't remember,
I don't remember the exact
I don't remember the
numbers.
exact number off
Yeah.
the top of my head either, but it was overwhelming.
Overwhelming support. So tonight, the Board of Education is asked to approve the 2021 to 2026 board faculty agreement and the accompanying MOU as presented.
You read it right, Amy.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions? I have a question. Where's Jason? You said Jason was here?
Yeah.
I can't tell. Behind that,
Thanks, David, thanks.
okay,
that your summer
that was my
Jason?
cheap shot of the night, Andrew. Okay. Can we have a vote, please?
We can have anything we want. Amy,
Amy?
Yes. Aye.
Faye,
Hi.
me, Faye, Moon, yes. It's hard. David,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
it carries 5-0.
Okay, we have a series of approvals that typically come during the summer, including approval of the 2021 administrative and non-union salary pool. So tonight, it's recommended that the board approve the 2021-2022 administrative salaries and salary pool at $6,399,615, and the end staff salaries and salary pool for $2,858,719.42.
Need a motion?
Yep,
So moved.
Thanks, Amy.
thank you.
Second.
So I got a
Thanks, Faye.
second over here.
So this is all as discussed in the.
All is
in the
discussed,
minutes.
yep.
Okay. Any other comments? Can we poll the board, please, Madam Secretary?
Certainly. Amy,
Amy?
Aye.
Thank you.
Faye,
Hi.
Moon's aye. Gary,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
it carries 5-0.
Okay, and then one more item, and then we'll turn it over to Sean. Tonight, we're also asking the board to renew our agreement with Rebound Fitness. Trish and Sean and a host of others have continued to work with Greg and evaluate the work that Rebound Fitness has been doing on campus for the athletic training and the strength and conditioning work. And I would say, to suggest that we are pleased is an understatement. Greg and his team are absolutely amazing, and we're excited to be presenting our renewal agreement with Rebound Fitness tonight. So following discussion, it's recommended that the board approve the renewal agreement with Rebound Fitness for 1 year at a cost not to exceed $133,750.
And I have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thanks, Gary. Any discussion? Madam Secretary?
Good. Faye,
Hi.
Moon's aye. David,
Aye.
Gary,
Amy?
Amy,
Aye.
Thank you.
carries 5-0.
Okay, and Sean, the seal coating bid?
Yep, every year, we look to seal coat, all of the various asphalt on our property, mostly the parking lots and the fitness trail. Several years ago, we entered into a bid with District 96 to, share services from a particular company. This year was no different. We did go out to bid. We received 2 bidders, Patriot Pavement and New Line Paving. The lowest bidder was in fact New Line Paving, so following any discussion, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve an agreement with New Line Paving Services to provide seal coating services at a cost not to exceed $160,210.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay, I guess.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Gary. What's the 161,897?
That is from Patriot Pavement.
Oh,
That's
you're
their
giving
bid.
us the 2 bids.
The 2 bids, correct.
Who have we ever used before?
We've used New Line. They won our contract for the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yep, they'll renew now for another 5 years.
It's nice that they're that close.
Correct.
You'd think Patriot Paving would have gotten.
Their colors
Okay.
are red, white, and blue.
Any other discussion?
So is the only difference the price difference?
Correct, yeah, so we make sure when we send out our bid specs that the type of sealant that they're using is consistent, same thickness, and same compounds to ensure that it's a level playing field and we're not getting a thinner or cheaper sealant to put on our asphalt. So yeah, we make sure in the painting of the lines and all that stuff is all consistent.
Sure. Do we seal coat everything every year, or is it like a rotation?
No, because of the abuse that our parking lots and the Stevenson Drive take, we do it every year unless there is a year where we're possibly rebuilding a parking lot. It just extends the useful life of our parking lots and our asphalt so that we can delay any major repairs for the future because we're maintaining them annually.
Okay.
So you,
Thank you.
as needed.
Correct.
Is it odd that these numbers are so close?
No,
Okay,
it's a very, this particular industry is very tight.
okay. All right, anybody else? Madam
Is this an
Secretary, please,
annual?
sorry.
Is this
Yes,
annual?
correct.
That it,
What
Faye?
was your question?
Is this the annual cost?
No, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, this is a 3-year cost, and then
Oh.
we have 2 1-year renewals if we'd like.
Oh.
So the annual cost is around 50,000, actually the first year, it's under 50, and then it goes to 55 the following 2 years.
Anybody else? Madam Secretary, please.
Certainly. Gary,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Amy,
Amy?
Hi.
Faye,
Aye.
me. It carries 5-0.
If I may just really quick, Eric.
Yep.
Faye, the reason we spread the 3-year cost on there is because that's the actual spend that the district is approving, because it's a 3-year contract. That's why I have to put the whole 160.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Okay, so tonight, we are asking the board to appoint, hearing officers for hearings convened pursuant to the school code, board policies, and or administrative procedures. We have, at least one, suspension hearing coming up in the next couple months that, we wanted the board to, go through the formal process of appointing, 2 potential hearing officers for. This is a kind of a routine, requirement for school boards to, from time to time, appoint hearing officers. So tonight, it is recommended that the Board of Education appoint attorneys Thomas Medley and Michael Dudek to serve as hearing officers for hearings convened pursuant to the school code, board policies, and or administrative procedures.
We need a motion. I'll move that. I just need a second.
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 Thank you.
And, one question that you may or may not have is why wouldn't attorneys just serve as hearing officers? But that is a little inside baseball. You wanna be sure that, your hearing officers are independent from, the firms, that may be representing the district, in cases that come before a hearing officer. So, we wanna make sure that those folks are independent and, we feel good about both Mr. Melody and Dudek.
And where are they, where are they attorneys for what firm?
I don't know the names of their firms, but they're, it's in some of the materials that Carol has, but they're not associated with either of the 3 firms that we use.
That we use?
Correct.
They're not part of.
Independent.
Yeah.
They're independent.
Independent of that.
Yeah, they're
We
independent.
use the Engler, Bastille,
I
Callaway, and then
Robert
Robert
Schwartz and.
Yep.
And then, right.
Those are the 2
Have they been hearing officers for us before?
Correct,
Oh,
Do we need to pay them?
yes.
Uh,
That ends up as an hourly rate that they bill afterwards, depending upon the cost.
Is this more like when there's a suspension of
Correct.
teacher happens?
Student, yeah.
Okay.
So it's just something we do from time to time to be sure that, they're still officially appointed by the board.
So this is more like having them available.
Correct.
If a case comes up, then they will be the person.
You got it. That's it, exactly.
And this is only students, not employees.
Okay.
only students?
Only students.
Okay.
Do we vote on
used
this?
them- We
Yep,
didn't
you
use
have to
them
vote.
last year, did we?
Is it a voice or a poll? I don't see it on
It's a
it.
poll.
It's a poll.
Madam Secretary, if you would.
I'm happy to. Let's see, well, let's start today with, Faye.
Aye.
Moon's aye. David?
Aye.
Amy?
Amy?
Hi.
Gary?
Aye.
We, approved that 5-0.
Okay, and then Sean, you have 2 first readings for tonight?
Yep, one is for some a piece of cleaning equipment, it's a scrubber that we use. It's nearing its end of useful life. So we will have more information on that for the August board meeting. And then as we've mentioned before and previously, is that we are going to change or update our accounting methodology. We're going to switch from a cash basis to a modified accrual basis, and we'll
Finally.
we'll go over that, but really the 2 main reasons is there's a change, it's recommended by GASB, which kind of governs school districts as well as others. And Moody's is looking to downgrade a school district's rating based on the fact that they use a cash basis as opposed to modified accrual.
So, when you say modified accrual, how modified are you talking about?
More than, most likely it's our tax receipts, because we receive early tax receipts. We receive tax receipts in the year prior to that, they're dedicated.
So you can't accrue CapEx?
You can, we probably won't.
Okay,
We don't wanna go to a full accrual method.
okay. How come?
It's not recommended by GASB. They want us to be able to keep our expenses and our revenues in the same fiscal year and not accrued over multiple years.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be coming, both of those will be coming back to the board for approval in August.
Excuse me, yes.
Which brings us to the consent agenda. You'll see a number of items there that are fairly routine, including the county indemnification agreement, updating articles of joint agreement with the ELC, and so thank you for Terry for all your work on that. The consolidated district plan, designation of depositories resolution. We talked at finance and site facilities around the 2022 campus improvement projects and moving those to design and development. And then just wanted to make a note regarding, for the last couple summers, we haven't been meeting in July. However, we have approved estimated July 2021 expenditures as we've done in the past. And then authorization to engage in conversations regarding the purchase of property over on the east side of campus. Not contiguous to the property that we just bought, but
Correct, contiguous to our district.
but contiguous to our property. And then you'll see release of executive session minutes and executive session audio minutes. So all of those items are for consent agenda.
What about this indemnification agreement? Didn't we revisiting that?
Every year, we
Every
have
year.
to do that. It's an
Every
annual.
year we try to hang you out to dry?
No, it's protection for the county,
Okay,
when they collect money on our behalf from a developer.
alright,
Basically, it's for omissions or errors.
okay.
Okay, we need a motion.
Can we have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Thanks, Amy. Second, Fay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Madam Secretary?
Well, does anybody have any other questions?
I don't hear any.
No? Okay, let's go. Faye?
Aye.
Booth, aye. David?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Amy?
Amy?
Aye. Aye.
Good. 5-0.
Okay, and then finally, just wanted to share with you, you may or may not be interested in this. If you need something to put you to sleep tonight, this is an update from Terry Engler's firm on the legislative session that just finished up in Springfield recently. There are a number of very interesting and fascinating updates. I would say that in any given year, there's not a lot that happens in Springfield that would affect us here at Stevenson directly on day one. However, this past year, there are a number of them, including updates on how we do our lockdown drills, some suicide prevention legislation, how we share student records, and they're making it easier for us to share records with our feeder districts. Carol, remember that agreement that we had in place? Expansion of e-learning programs for schools that want to move down that road. And I mean, you could just see they were very, very busy in Springfield this spring. So again, if you're interested, this is for you to review, but I wanted to share that with you. I have also included some important dates for the summer. But the third update would just be that summer school is going well. As Troy and Mark shared last month, we have a record number of students participating in summer school, well over 2,000 students. So we're pretty excited about that. And I was asked the question the other day about what kind of COVID restrictions we have in place in the summer, I should say mitigations. And we're doing three things primarily, Sean. We're doing the saliva testing.
Correct.
Students are wearing masks, and we're maintaining social distancing. We could have foregone the saliva testing, but we are participating in a study with Lake County Health Department and the CDC on social distancing measures and quarantining. And so the hope is that through this study that we'll be able to reduce the period of quarantining for students in the fall. Probably not gonna affect us a whole lot, but it will have a big impact on our K-5 students, potentially K-8 students, most of whom may not be vaccinated when school starts in the fall. So we're participating in that study, which means we're doing the saliva sampling in the summer. We don't expect to be doing that in the fall. And then regarding the fall, we just don't know anything. So, you know, I'm not in the business of making predictions. I think the two mitigations that have a possibility of being around in the fall would be masking and social distancing. We would only do those if required to do so by IDPH and ISB. We continue to follow whatever guidance and requirements that they issue. But we just don't know if those will be in place yet. So
And they are setting the standards.
the IDPH and ISB continue to set the standards. So, you know, for those students and parents who'd prefer to, and teachers who would prefer to see the mask requirement go away in August, that's not a decision that we can make by ourselves. That's a decision that the state makes, and then we follow suit. So I do think we're gonna get some updated guidance within the next few weeks, once the city of Chicago schools close up for the year. So sometime in late June, early July, we'll get some updated guidance. But in the meantime, we're having a great summer. Campus is busy. Lots of kids here. They seem to be enjoying their experience, and things are going fairly well. So that is all I have for tonight.
Anybody got anything else? Thank you all for coming. Amy, thank you for dialing in. Dale, I'm counting on you to make that call.
Great.
I'd really like to be part of that,
Thank you.
and please do.
Thank you.
All right.
We need a
Good.
motion.
We need
Yeah,
a motion
can I
to
have a motion
adjourn.
to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Nay? Thanks, everybody.